A 20-year-old allegedly drugged and viciously gang raped by her Haliburton co-workers at Camp Hope inside Baghdad's Green Zone. Jamie Lee Jones says shortly after she was raped, Haliburton KBR security locked her in a shipping cell for nearly 24 hours without food and water, guarded by two men with machine guns. Jones says she was finally able to call her father back in the U.S. for help. His local congressman in Texas called the embassy and she was rescued. Congressman Ted Poe says he wants answers, and 2 years later, still nothing. No criminal charges have been filed. It's still unclear whether any government agency is investigating. Joining us now is Jamie Lee Jones and her attorney, Todd Kelly. Thanks very much to both of you for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
All right, so first of all, tell me, this has been a long endeavor for you. It's now years after the fact. You've decided to go public. Why?
Well, I've been trying to push for a prosecution this entire time. I've just gotten some media attention lately, but I have not given up, and I've been pushing forward. And I just started the Jamie Lee Foundation, and I've been trying to bring awareness to the situation to help others through my foundation.
So behind the scenes up to this point, you've been trying to pursue every legal avenue.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the reason you didn't go public until now about the allegations?
It's been, like, public the entire time.
Yeah.
But
the timing. The timing of the release of the public information was really more of a media decision than it was anything that Jamie or I had anything to do with.
Tell me what happened.
Well, where do you want me to start?
Start from the time that this incident occurred.
Okay. Let's see, I was in Iraq for 4 days, and on the 4th day, I was meeting some new coworkers, and they were outside of my barrack, and I was handed a drink from a male coworker, and this was the first time that I'd met him. And when he handed me the drink, he said, "There's no roofies in this drink or anything. I've saved all my roofies for Dubai." And
He's making a joke.
Yeah, the people were laughing, so I just thought it was a joke. And then I took a couple of sips, and I don't remember anything after that.
And then you woke up, and what made you think that you'd been raped?
I had severe injuries. I was disfigured through my chest, which later required a reconstructive surgery. And in between, my thighs were bruised, my wrists were bruised, and all of those indicators, and in between my legs, I had some injuries. So
it was bleeding?
Yes. Yes.
And then you got to see an Army doctor who did a rape kit investigation?
Yes, sir.
And what was the conclusion?
Well, the Army doctor did confirm that. She said, "You know, Jamie, I don't know if I don't know if you want to know this, but you were raped both places." She said it in other words, but
vaginally and anally.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could say that on TV, but okay.
The details are important because I think it relates to the gruesome nature of what happened.
Right. Yes, and my heart sunk that day, and since then I've been so angry that someone would actually violate my body like that. It's gruesome, and it's totally disgusting.
But then what happens? So you've now awakened, you don't remember anything. You go to this doctor, the doctor says you've been raped. You say that the doctor then gave the report to someone from...
Well, the entire rape kit, it was in a box, and it included, the pictures, the doctor's notes, all the fingernail scrapings, and like everything that a rape kit includes, the swabs, everything. Handed it to KBR security. That'd be like getting raped at a mall and handing a rape kit to a mall guard. And, that's just... At
the time, did you think, what are they doing, or were you just so...
Yeah, it rose a red flag to me, but in that position, what do you do? I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what to do.
So then what happens?
The KBR security personnel who took the rape kit drove me to a trailer / there's a lot of names for it. I wanted to clarify that. It's been called trailer, it's been called shipping container. It's all the same thing. They drove me to that, and there was 2 armed guards outside of the container, and I was actually imprisoned. They locked me in this container, and they would not let me leave. They did not...
Did you try to leave? Did you say to them, I don't want to be in here?
Yeah, I tried to leave, and I tried to get a phone, so...
And then finally you were able to call your father.
Because one of the...
Yeah, how did that happen?
Yeah, one of the security guards had a heart. He felt sympathetic. He let me use his cell phone. I called my father. At that time, I didn't know that he had contacted Congressman Ted Poe, but he did behind the scenes. And I found that out when the State Department agents arrived. So
it's been hard for you to talk about publicly?
Yeah, it has been very, very hard. But I feel like I have to. I have to because this is happening. This is bigger than just me now, at this point. There's other women. It has to be touched on because there's got to be some change. And it should not take the media to, get a prosecution. I mean...
So, Mr. Kelly, there's a legal issue here, right? And that is with regard to the prosecution. It's probably not going to happen, right?
Well, the prosecution is really, I represent Jamie in her civil suit.
Right.
And that civil suit obviously has nothing to do with the criminal prosecution.
But there is a legal loophole that makes it nearly impossible for them to prosecute criminally.
I don't feel comfortable speaking on that. I don't consider myself to be a criminal prosecution expert. There are experts on that field. I know that we are planning to testify on Wednesday to a congressional hearing, and they're looking into that issue.
Let me focus on some of the civil allegations, because as you know, there have been some challenges from KBR, and some of them with regard to some of what was said. An internal email at KBR from the president and CEO allegedly says, while the allegations raised by Ms. Jones are serious, after a review of the case, KBR noted inaccuracies in the account of the incident in question and dispute portions of Ms. Jones' version of the facts.
I don't know what else you'd expect them to say. Anytime that someone is accused of rape or having a participation in a rape, they're going to allege that there are inaccuracies in the statement. Notably, they have not been specific about what inaccuracies that they're talking about.
Well, the Houston Chronicle cited this, and it says KBR told EEOC officials that one of the men accused in the rape said the woman consented to have sex with him.
It's interesting that they would talk about consent because of the nature of the injuries that Jamie's already talked about.
Yeah, there's no way that was consensual.
Right. She was brutally raped, both anally and vaginally. But what she didn't mention earlier on this show, but she's mentioned earlier in other places, is the fact that her pectoral muscles were torn, her breasts were misshapen, and she had to have reconstructive surgery. In fact, she still needs reconstructive surgery.
Yeah,
no one consents to that.
Right.
Yeah,
I consider it to have been beaten as well. I mean, how sick do you have to be to do that to another woman? I mean, that's...
And I have to tell you, listening to Congressman Poe on this program before saying that there needs to be some sort of investigation here, particularly because of the number of other cases that have come to light of allegations of rape at the hands of private contractors in Iraq. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the program. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for caring.